Hello everyone, it's Spurs Radio 96 here, and welcome to the 11th episode of the FIFA 18 Zenit St Petersburg career mode. We begin today's episode in the Russian Premier League at the Krasnovsky Stadium once again, where we will be hosting FC Ural. If you haven't checked out the last episode, I suggest you do so. Action-packed episode where we had the Northwest Derby against FC Tosno in the league. We then visited the reigning champion Spartak Moscow away from home, before then going away to Real Sociedad in the Europa League. Check it out. As you can see there by the table, we lead with 41 points, first place in the league quite comfortably at the moment. We're beginning to bridge a gap between the Moscow clubs as well as FC Krasnodar. As you can see, a mountain to climb, and we have still the best defensive record in the league, conceding just 8 goals, while FC Ural have the worst offensive record in the league, just scoring 12 goals. Of course, last time we faced FC Ural, we were away from home, and we won 2-0 away with Alexandra Kokorin scoring 2 goals. For today's match, the secondary team comes into play. They played reasonably well. They won, they won the derby against FC Tosno so that was really, really impressive. They've been having quite a few 1-0 victories. Hopefully maybe we can have that, maybe score more than 1 goal. We come on to the start of the 7th minute. On the front foot here, Pletnev has got a chance here. Great save from Godzor, and that's already shown that Zenit St Petersburg on the front foot already. Approaching 10 minutes now. Great passing towards Polos. Twists and turns to confuse the defender. Does a cross in towards Hassan. Great save from Godzor. 2 fantastic saves in a matter of 3 to 4 minutes for Godzor. Of course, he played very well in the away fixture, Godzor. I think he's one of statistically one of the best keepers in the league at the moment in terms of keeping clean sheets last time I checked. So he's doing really, really off to a flying start so far away at St Petersburg at the Krasnovsky Stadium. 26 minutes now. We're coming forward again here. Is it Leonardo Paredes? No, it wasn't, but I don't know who it was. Good save from Godzor. Polos with a chance. And Godzor manages to bash it to the basically get the ball out of the way with his left arm, swiping it to the left there from a tight angle. Onto the 36 minute, Panyukov has got a chance. Good passing towards Hassan. Hassan trying to dribble his way around the player and gives it to Crane Vitter, and he's done it. And would you believe it, on the 37th minute, Crane Vitter has scored. Fantastic moment of quality there for Mehmet Hassan, just dribbling into the box. I thought he was going to take a strike at goal, but he saw who was around him, twisted and turned. Wonderful through ball to Crane Vitter. Looked offside when I was playing the game. I thought, maybe it was offside, but it wasn't. And a good, calm finish from Crane Vitter. And of course, the club brought him from Spanish La Liga side Atletico Madrid, and he's really starting to feel home now in the Russian Premier League. 2 goals now for Matthias Crane Vitter, and we lead 1-0, and deservedly so, as we've had a flying start in the first half, absolutely dominating FC Ural. We've got a free kick in the added time of the 45th minute. I think Ekrin is going to take the free kick. We position where I'd like the ball to be placed, and we pass it Ekrin in towards Crane Vitter, in towards Ekrin himself. There was someone else taking the free kick. Godzor with a good save. They're trying to clear their lines, FC Ural, and there goes the half-time whistle. A fantastic first-half performance from the secondary team. We have pushed FC Ural to their limit, towards breaking point in their defence. Godzor, the standout for FC Ural, really making some tremendous saves, and the defence is just going to have to simply be more organised, because Godzor won't be making all those saves for much longer, because we could have scored 4 or 5 goals if it wasn't for them, if it wasn't for Godzor, for FC Ural. But we lead 1-0 at half time. I'm just going to show you the stats. Look at that. 8 shots, 5 on target, more possession. Ural haven't had a sniff at goal, with none shot at all, not even on or off target. Second half, FC Ural started to come forward now, and that's a great strike from one of our players, and it's hit against the crossbar, the post. I don't know who it was, but we clear our lines there. And that's the end of half time. That was the only significant highlight of the second half, just that bit when they hit the post. FC Ural were more organised, and towards the very latter stages of the match, we decided to go on the offensive and try and get a goal to get a point. But yet, it is another home victory. We're unbeaten in the league. Amazingly, our record, not just at home but in the career mode, is fantastic. All of them wins, and we haven't even had a home draw yet, but we're still, but the secondary team doing well at home, but getting a few 1-0 wins, and of course we win 1-0 once again against FC Ural. The second episode we come on to the second game of the episode, and we will be hosting SCR Altach in our final Europa League group game. Kind of a nothing game really, because SCR Altach, I don't think they can have a chance to progress to the knockout stages of the Europa League. We of course are safe and sound. We're top of the group. No one can catch us at the top of our group, and of course we're into the round 32 stage of the Europa League, and SCR Altach do have a chance if Real Sociedad lose to Rosenborg BK, and if SCR Altach win against us, they will possibly progress to the into the knockout stages. It depends on their goal difference, which I don't know. For this match, I'm doing something rather special. I'm giving some of our youth players a chance for the first time in the career mode. A 17-year-old Goilo is in goal. Skrobatov and Kukayev, the 17-18-year-old centre-backs, they come into play as well. And midfielder Kapelenko is leading the midfield. So what a chance for them to impress on one of Europe's biggest stages, the Europa League. We come on to the 29th minute now, and Van der Nuts has got the ball now to Altach. Altach on the attack, in towards Melinga. Great save from the young 17-year-old Goilo. We clear our lines now. Kapelenko, Ozdev, and Ozdev's dropped the ball rather clumsily, and he's given it to Gerbic, and Gerbic has got a chance, and he scored, and SCR Altach lead after a clumsy mistake from Ozdev. I don't know what he was trying to do. He's got the ball and just got the ball and was trying to maybe get it down, I don't know, onto the floor to pass maybe, but yeah, it's a very clumsy mistake from Ozdev. I don't know what he was doing, but not what we want. We're 1-0 down. It doesn't really matter if we lose or draw, because we're safe and sound, but it would be nice to have a clean record at home in the Europa League as much as the career mode, because like I said earlier on, we're unbeaten at home. We haven't had a draw yet at home. We're undefeated, no defeats, all just wins. And Adrian Gerbic, I think, has scored his second goal in the Europa League, and SCR Altach lead here, approaching 31 minutes. We're approaching now, we're coming to the 44th minute. Great counter-attack being on here. Hassan towards Panyakov. Panyakov's in the box and strikes at the heart of SCR Altach, and we are level, approaching right to the very end of the first half in added time. Panyakov, I think, has scored his first goal this season, and the fans are very pleased to see that. Of course, great team play leading up to the goal, particularly the pass from Hassan towards Panyakov. Panyakov was onside and was calm and collective to put the ball away into the bottom right corner of the net. And just before half-time, Zenit St Petersburg will be level against SCR Altach, and the players there in celebration. Yeah, Andrei Pandyakov has got his first goal in the Europa League, and I think his first for the season as well. Hopefully that will be great, because he hasn't scored many goals. He's done a lot of assists, like Sebastian Druzy has, when he was behind, in the centre forward position, behind Alexander Kokorin. A similar story when Panyakov's in the centre forward position when he plays behind Ahmed Hassan. But he's doing well on the assists. But now Panyakov has a goal as the half-time whistle has blown, and the fans are very pleased so far. Pleased with the youngsters as well. Nikita Goilo made a great save before, unfortunately, a bit of a mistake from Ozdev led SCR Altach to lead with Gerbic in the 33rd minute, but Panyakov levelled it right at the very end of the first half to make it 1-1. On to the second half, SCR Altach still on the attack. Gerbic, he wants to get his second goal of the game, and that's a great save from Goilo. Fantastic work from the youngster, of course. He is going to go on loan when the January transfer window opens, and I can't remember which club to, but he's showing his future employees just how good he is, and showing him how good he is with me. He's doing very well, and we're trying everything we can to take the lead, approaching 75 minutes now. And that's a great header in towards Hassan. It's at the post, and it's gone in off Ahmed Hassan. It's gone in, and Zenit St Petersburg have come from behind to lead this. Pretty much a nothing game, but we do lead once again. Europa League. Look at that header from, I don't know who the hell it was. It was maybe Nabelin, I think, or I'm not sure, but that's a tremendous header, and it just all of a sudden just no one dealt with it. It just went straight to Hassan. Hassan then struck first time, hit the post. When came off the post, and then of course went back into the feet of Hassan, who tucked it into an empty net. And Ahmed Hassan has got his first goal in the Europa League. He's doing just as what I want when I went in the latter stages of the summer transfer window. He's scoring goals for the secondary team, and that's great. We lead 2-1, and there we go. That is the end. That concludes the end of the Europa League Group L. We will be top of the group with maximum points, 18 points. SCR Altach, of course, tried everything they can to make sure they can maybe win this game and progress to the knockout stages if Real Sociedad lost by a substantial margin over the Norwegian champions Rosenborg BK. But good credit to the youngsters as well. Kakeov, Skrobatov, Kapalenko, and particularly the goalkeeper Goilo. They've earned the plaudits in this match. We win 2-1 against SCR Altach of Austria, and as you can see there, we've got our tournament prize money from the Europa League to progressing to the knockout stages, £4.5 million. Hopefully that will be hopefully that could be used in the January transfer window if and when required. We come on to the final game of the episode, where we resume our Russian Premier League action, and we will be away at a snowy ground where we'll be up against Akhmat Grozny. Of course, we played them at home in the beginning of the season, where we won narrowly 2-1 against Akhmat Grozny, and at the time I wasn't very pleased with the striking options we had at the time, hence why I brought in Ahmed Hassan in the transfer window from SC Braga. But now he's here, hopefully he can do some magic against Akhmat Grozny. We are still top of the league with 44 points. Now, I think SC Grozny are 38 points, so we're beginning to pull a huge bit of a gap now in second place. And Akhmat Grozny, I think, we're 13th and 14th place. As you can see there, we're somehow glitched in the chairs of the dugout, of the away dugout. The secondary team will play once again. I think they've played in... I think this will be the first episode that the first team has not been featured at all, I think. So it's nice to see that the secondary team are, get playing very well. Of course, the Kraneviter, Melvja and Mamona all return after I gave the youngsters a chance in the Europa League and delivered very, very well. I don't think they would cope very well in this in the Russian league, because their stats are just simply too low at the moment. We're still the best defensive team in the league, conceding just 8 goals. Surprisingly, second place is FC UFA, who conceded just 14 goals. That's quite an amazing statistic. On to the 27th minute, great through ball towards Polos. Polos has lifted for Kraneviter, and it's gone in past 28 minutes played, and Zenit St Petersburg lead at the snowy ground that is home to Akhmat Grozny and celebrates with the away fans. Of course, this is the last game before the 3-month winter break, and we've started this game in the best fashion, in the best way possible. Great cross, tiny cross in towards Kraneviter, who finishes it fantastically well, first time on his right foot as it rolls into the net, and Akhmat Grozny's keeper is not pleased with that at all. And Matthias Kraneviter has now got his third goal in the Russian Premier League. He's scoring goals for fun. Didn't he score the winner against? He did score the winner against FC Ural, didn't he? Yes, he did. I think he did. We come on to the 45th minute of added time. Wonderful through ball towards Panyakov, and he's left it for Ahmed Hassan. What a deadly finish! And Akhmat Grozny's day goes from bad to worse. They've conceded right at the end of the first half in added time, and it's 2-0 to Zenit St Petersburg, and looks likely we'll be taking 3 points back to Zenit St Petersburg, to St Petersburg in Russia. Fantastic strike from Ahmed Hassan in the slippery conditions. Wonderful finish that is. Keeper had no chance with that, from a tight angle as well too. And our day has just got better and better, and what a way to end the first half of the season in the Russian Premier League. 2-0 up at half-time, pretty much, against Akhmat Grozny. Ahmed Hassan has now got 5 goals in the league, so he's got 6 goals, pretty much altogether, including the Europa League goal he scored against SCR Altach. He's on fire at the moment, and long may it continue. And that's going to be the half-time whistle, and Akhmat Grozny, overall, the first 20-odd minutes, pretty level really. It was quite hard to adjust to the conditions, hard to see what Akhmat Grozny did in terms of game plan, and their game plan was simply defending the first half pretty much. We took advantage of that once we got used to the conditions with good goals from Matthias Kraneviter and Ahmed Hassan. We lead 2-0 against Akhmat Grozny at half-time. We're going to come on to the half-time scorelines, and look at this. Akhmat Perm, bottom of the league, are holding FC Krasnodar 1-1 at the moment, and the other game, FC Ural lead Arsenal Tula on 60 minutes played. we're going to come on to the second half, specifically the 76th minute. That's a great strike from Akhmat Grozny. Great through ball in towards their striker. I forget his name. I think it's Bereshia. And Akhmat Grozny are back in the game all of a sudden, which really was annoying because they've controlled the second half, really. And look at this, what a through ball that is towards their player, Bereshia. That's how you say his name. Finishes very well on his right foot first time. Took the touch, first touch on the ball, and it's in the back of the net. And Bereshia has given Zenit St Petersburg certainly something to think about. Bernardo Bereshia's third goal in the Russian league, and the deficit is now down to just 1. Akhmat Grozny 1, Zenit St Petersburg 2, with no less than 13 minutes to play. We've got a nerve-wracking end, and it managed to hold our nerves together. We will end the first half of the season with another 3 points. 3 points away at Akhmat Grozny in the cold, in a very cold stadium there. In the first half, we were absolutely. It was a quite close contest actually to choose between the two teams, but we managed to take our chances very well, particularly from Hassan and Kraneviter. Akhmat Grozny were better in the second half. Were attacked with much more pace and creativity. They got a goal back, but we managed to hold on for a 2-1 victory there. As you can see there, look at this, unbelievable. Ankar Perm, talk about no time at all. They finally win their first game of the entire season, 2-1 against FC Krasnodar, our main rivals. Unbelievable. And what a time to do it as well, right before the start of the 3-month winter break. I'll give them some huge confidence going into the second half of the season to try and stay up. And FC Ural won against Arsenal Tula for same scoreline, 2-1. So unbelievable for Ankar Perm. Bottom club in the league that beats our main rivals right before the winter break. Unbelievable. Looking at the table then, that concludes the first half of the campaign in the career mode. At this stage, of course, the Russian winter break, the 3-month winter break will now take place in Russia, so there'll be no league or cup game until March, and this is how it will look for the next 3 months. We are top of the league with 47 points, some 9 points ahead of second place FC Krasnodar on 38. Lokomotiv Moscow are third with 36 points, 3 points ahead of the reigning champions Spartak Moscow. Dynamo Moscow, fantastic first half of the season for them. They're P5 despite being a promoted club on 29 points, 1 point ahead of FC UFA, who are doing remarkably well and having a fantastic defence, it seems, the second best defence in the league. CSK Moscow disappointed to be 7th with 25 points and 3 points off FC UFA. Rostov are up to P8 with 24 points, they've recovered reasonably well. Anzhi Makanella is 9th with the same points as Rostov, 24 points. Rubik Kazan disappointingly 10th with 23 points. FC Tosno doing well in 11th place. They've been there most of the first half of the season in P11 with 21 points. Akhmat Grozny and FC Ural are 12th and 13th with 20 points, 3 points ahead of 14th place Arsenal Tula. SCR Altach did get their second win of the entire of the Premier League just before the start of the winter break. They're 15th still with 15 points, and only 2 points behind Arsenal Tula. And look at that, Ankar Perm finally get their first win of the season against FC Krasnodar. Unbelievable there. They are on 8 points, so quite a way off behind 15th place SK Khabarovsky, but they finally at long last took some doing. 19 games later, they finally have that elusive Premier League win, 3 points. Hope that will give them great confidence going into the second round of the season, and great confidence for us as well, since St Petersburg being now 9 points clear of our rivals Krasnodar and of course the Moscow clubs, who have been making some mistakes of recent games, looking at the results of the league. On to the Group L, as you can see, confirmed there, we are top of the league, of Group L of the Europa League, 6 wins out of 6, 18 points. Real Sociedad do get through on 7 points, despite losing to Rosenborg BK, who are on 6 points and go out. And there we go. So the next episode then, well, as you can tell, December is finished. The 3-month winter break will take place, which is no games in terms of Russian Premier League action until March, which you see we will be hosting Ankar Perm for that one. But for the next episode, we will be going through the transfers of January, roundup of the transfers, and tell you what's going on with that, as well as a look at the other teams other clubs will be facing in the Europa League knockout stages, as well as the Champions League. And as you can see there, that is who we'll be facing in the round 32 stage against the Greek champions Olympiakos. That's going to be a tough tough thing there. So yeah, I just want to say thank you very much for watching. Just to say, it'll be hopefully a quick episode. There'll be no gameplay at all. There'll just be a roundup of the January transfers, a roundup of the Champions League, and of the Champions League group stage, see who went out, see who went through, and who to play against, and that will be the same for the Europa League. See who will progress from the groups, and who and what will the other teams be, and who will the other teams be playing against. So yeah, I just want to say thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.